Hey, what's happening? This your boy Rikishi, your WWE Hall of Fame. Check this out. I want you to keep it locked on Smart Tank Revolution. Don't touch that dial. Why? The big man said I back that ass up on it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Smart Tank Revolution, where we always kick out at 2. I am your solo host once again, Joey. Another spectacular night to be watching the business. And yes, I'm bringing you my latest Raw rebuttal. And wow, what a time to have been alive on a Monday night and see it live, but I had watched it on a Tuesday instead. Nevertheless, we're going to get into the high points, the low points, and the creamy middles. And yeah, so there's a lot to cover. Raw was packed. Raw was touted as going to be, a one-trick pony with Braun Breaker defending his newly minted WWE Intercontinental Championship against main event Jey Uso. And Jey has been chasing gold for quite a long time, a singles gold, I should say. And it's long overdue, and it's something that I kind of looked at as that's nice. It's a good little, how do you do to Jey, letting him be in the match, getting some shine. But we ultimately knew Braun was going to walk out with this belt. We ultimately knew that Braun was just kind of going to do his thing, be the unpredictable badass, and steamroll over him and on to the next, so to speak. But it wasn't the only thing that carried Raw. Of course, we have the very entertaining, very gripping storyline with the Judgment Day and Dominic Mysterio, Dirty Dom, and Liv Morgan. And, of course, that never fails. But I really dug it. They're setting it up. It's bringing back shades of SummerSlam, of days of yore, where the custody of Dominic was over hanging the ring in a briefcase for a ladder match between Ray and Eddie. But we're not getting it at this time. We're getting two femmes fighting over Dirty Dom's affection. And it's just as entertaining, but this is also giving me Judy Bagwell vibes because Dom is going to be hoisted up over the ring in a shark cage above the festivities. This is entertaining as all hell. The storyline, the idea of the match in general, just seeing Dom up there, I think the crowd is going to love it in Atlanta, and they're going to unmercifully boo Dom and heckle him. As they should, because he's a fantastic heel. But the other side of things, I think Liv and Rhea need kind of a cap-off. The only issue is, I think this has gotten to the point where it's outgrown and become so entertaining that it'd be a shame to end it here. Now, the smart money would be on Rhea just having her way with Liv, finally getting her comeuppance, moving on into WrestleMania season. Liv's had a good Cinderella run. I would say more than a Cinderella run. She's really gone longer than I expected her to have the world title. That's not a poke at Liv. Who wouldn't want to poke at Liv? Donnie will probably edit that out. But basically, this is one of those. It's just kind of outstretched the legs that the story and the arc has started with. And it's so entertaining. It's one of those you don't want to say goodbye yet type of things. However, how many more times can you go back to the well? If you don't finish it here, do you finish it at Survivor Series? Bad Blood, they're seeming to be setting up to be the cap-off of all these main monumental feuds that have been percolating over the WWE landscape for the past couple months. And this is where everything comes to a head and all things come to an end for most of these, supposedly. I just think with Liv and Dom, there's so much meat on the bone. I haven't used that in a little bit. There's so much meat on the bone with this that I don't think you necessarily have to have it. You can have Liv pull out one more nefarious win here, and maybe Rhea gets it back on a Monday night, as we see that the WWE is now no longer adverse to having big moments not take place at the top of the week. Maybe more on that later. But I think they can get a little more juice out of this. without it becoming stale. And I, for one, love this pairing. They are carrying the women's division right now. I hate to say it. I love Bianca. I love Jade. Donnie's wives, they really do some good business. But they're becoming like the Mean Girls. And it's getting kind of like, I don't know. I want to see another team just kind of take them out. I'm kind of over the Mega Powers estrogen party. I think that they need to really pump up the octane into getting them into a solos feud. I don't know if they've got it. I shouldn't say it. I should never say I don't know if they got it. That those words should not fall out of my mouth anymore. In the Triple H Paul Levesque era, they should not fall out of my mouth anymore because I'm proven wrong every single time, and it is such a welcome surprise every time I am. It doesn't happen much, but Triple H, kudos to you. You just keep making it happen, and I'm happy for you, pal. But I think they should move them into a solo feud. I still say that Bianca needs to be the one that turns. It's something that will be interesting. Jade is just, a no-brainer to have her be a heel because she's just so amazing. And she's just got that, why wouldn't you hate her? Because she's so great. But Bianca has that too. But Bianca has a little bit of this like untapped rage that we haven't really got into. And that's where it's interesting, where you can take her character to new heights, new levels, new lows if you want to. And I'm digging that. Other things of note that happened was the American Made went against the New Day. Now, the New Day has been a slow burn for a split up for a little while now. They tried it with Karrion Kross's group and the Final Testament. I apologize. They tried it with Karrion Kross's faction, and it wasn't really going anywhere. And then they also added Odyssey Jones was in it. I'm sorry, hiccup. Unfortunately, Odyssey Jones has been let go for allegedly, if correct, right reasons. But it really took the steam out of that entire feud. So they've now kind of switched it to Kofi and Woods having internal turmoil and, bickering and whatnot, like a really bad married couple. And the new wrinkle was they lost this week. They lost to American Made, Chad Gable, and the new American Alpha. And Woods lost his shit backstage because Rey Mysterio came over to try to clear up some tension from what happened last week when the LWO entered things. And basically he said, "Oh, I see. This is not a conversation for me because I'm not a former world champ. This is just the winner's circle, right? That I'm beneath you guys because I haven't had any singles gold." And Kofi tried to say, "Yo, kind of chill out, bro. You're really taking it up a notch." And of course, Woods dug at Ray, being a deadbeat dad with the that dig at Dom, and Ray's like, "You know what, man? You want to fight somebody? You're gonna fight me." And he did the whole, "Can you believe that this person?" Whenever your partner wants you to defend them when they're righteously in the wrong, they're so over the top in the wrong, and they go, "Can you believe that person? What a prick," And you have the unauspicious task of reminding them that no, you are wrong, male or female. You're a dick. You're in the wrong, but your partner doesn't want to hear it. That's kind of where Woods and Kofi are at right now. The honeymooners are having their issues. I'll be honest with you. This burn has been so slow that I really don't care anymore. Just we know Woods is going. He's going heel. He's going solo heel, and that's fine. Get Kofi back into the limelight. I still would love to see a heel Kofi eventually down the road, but I don't think this is it. But Xavier Woods is absolutely going heel. So it's just like, can we just get there already? You're burning daylight, guys. This is one of those creative decisions I would tell you that, can we just move it along, please? Thank you. And then other things of note that happened was we had Drew McIntyre come out in a rebuttal. How fit? This is a Raw rebuttal. He came out in a rebuttal to CM Punk's comments last week, to CM Punk's impassioned promo about he's ready to go lay down on his sword. He's ready to die in Hell in the Cell against Drew McIntyre for what he believes. He's ready to put the professional essence of CM Punk, Charles Montgomery Punk. I know that's probably not his name, but that's the one I like to use. And go against Drew Galloway and just have it be a battle of epic proportions. Superman Doomsday. One comes out on top, one dies. Actually, in the comic book, they both died, but Superman came back, and so did Doomsday. But I digress. For the time, it was very monumental. And this will be monumental too. Bad Blood really is hinging on CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. Henceforth, why it has already been prematurely named the main event by WWE press releases. Right move. Yes, of course, the Bloodline and Cody and Roman has a lot of meat on the bone there and a lot of intrigue. But let's just face it, right now, the kingpins of the WWE have been Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. They have been doing the lion's share of the carrying in the between those ropes and outside on the stick and just social media, you name it, they've been doing it. They are ABW, always been working. They are just ABC, always be cooking, and that's what they are. They are ABCing their way through the alphabet. They're doing a great job. I don't know. I've had some friends that I talk to. They say that Drew needs to win this. I disagree. I think this is Punk's match. I think Drew will come out looking like a monster and still be a top-notch name, whether he wins or loses. It's about CM Punk surviving. This is about the story of Phil Brooks going to hell and coming out of it alive. That's the story that they need to tell. And it doesn't have to be a decisive win. It doesn't have to be an over-the-top win. It just has to be he survives. And he's able to move forward. Because you do need to move Phil Brooks forward. Because when Seth Rollins, fresh off his falling out of stands at football games, is complete off his hiatus, I think you've got to get back to CM Punk and Seth Rollins. I think those two are on a trajectory for each other. But I will also say this, and this is also a lot of bias, but if I was a Bret Hart fan, I'm not. I am, but I'm not a Bret Hart mark, let's call it. I am a CM Punk mark. I am a self-professed CM Punk mark, and I make no apologies for it. I selfishly want to see CM Punk get his wish and have the main event of one of the nights of WrestleMania. I don't care if it's night 1 or night 2. I just want him to get it. He deserves it. At this point, he has won every critic over. Even the most jaded of critics he's won over. It's time. So to do that, there's a bunch of ways they can go. But I think we got to get him there. We got to get him there, folks. We got to get them to that point. And you've got to split Drew from Punk. We're going into Survivor Series. I don't want to see these two grapple again. I want this to be the end of it. Hell in the Cell is used to cap off things. It's not used to continue feuds forward. So in great Hell in the Cell tradition, I would like to see this be the end. And I see logically the only way it should end is by hook or by crook, by some angel or devil, CM Punk comes out with the victory. Moving forward from that, we had a little bit more of a tease from the Wyatt Six. They are adding a new member. The rumor is it is a woman. I got to be honest with you. There's only one woman that tops that list, short of Mandy Rose surprising us all and making my heart jump out of my chest. Coming back and being part of the Wyatt Six, I do think it's Alexa Bliss. I think Alexa Bliss is on her way home. I think she's been long overdue. I think she misses it. She is a mom. I think she's got the itch. I think she'll be back. Now, if Nikki Cross is Abby the Witch, then that would make Alexa Bliss maybe Sister Abigail, or it would just make her what her character was before. I don't know, but it's a very good tie-in to Bray if that's the way they want to go it. Hell, they could even make Alexa Bliss the de facto leader of the group, considering she did hold the power over the Fiend for quite a while. There's a lot of interesting things they can do. We'll see. I'm glad we didn't get another VHS, interview. They've been seemingly done with those. good to be done. Now, on to the meat and potatoes. The meat on the bone, everything that matters. I use that metaphor 3 times in this recording, and that's too much. But the sign on the marquee says wrestling, baby. And that's what we got. We got a barn burner main event Jey Uso. See what I did there? Versus Braun Breaker, the unpredictable badass, and the young stalwart Intercontinental Champion, the newly minted Intercontinental Champion. I got to be honest with you. I thought this was a weird pairing. I didn't like it because I feel like it's a lose. I thought it was only a win for Jey. Because if you make Braun lose this early in his title reign, his dominant title reign, what are you doing? You know what I mean? It's like you snuffed out the flame before it had a chance to really, torch some things. But if you also feed Jey to Braun, after everything that Jey's been through, and you're calling him main event Jey Uso, you're kind of, false advertising. So they were put in a precarious position, but the WWE walks a tightrope better than a lot of people, better than a lot of companies that I am aware of, especially wrestling ones. Let's just face it. There is a one world order in wrestling right now. It's the WWE. And AEW would be a very, very distant second right now. They got to pull their shit back. I love their champion. They got to pull their shit back to get me back a little bit more. But WWE is killing it, and that's what this is about. We're not talking AEW. We're talking Braun Breaker versus Jey Uso. On a sidebar, I will say that Joe Tessitore, he's growing on me. I didn't dig him the first night, his debut, because I'm so married to, Cole and Corey Graves and Pat McAfee. God bless him. I want him back as soon as possible. I'm married to those voices that I've heard give me all those great moments. But he's really coming along. I'm starting to dig a lot of it. I'm like, okay, all right, let's see what you got. And I can see he does have that panache when he speaks. He just needs to amp up a little bit more of the emphasis and a little bit more of the enthusiasm. But other than that, I think he's a great voice. Wade Barrett, though, Wade doesn't do anything wrong in my book. I think Wade is a fantastic, fantastic announcer. He's really good. He's like a Nigel McGuinness, although I think Wade's better than Nigel, I'll be honest. He's not as over the top. But again, I stopped talking about AEW. What was I talking about? This match was good. It started out dreadfully, draggingly slow, and I wasn't feeling it. I was like, Sammy and Braun are a much better pairing. But as it moved forward, it got better. My only issue with it, my only tidbit issue with this, is Braun sold a whole lot for Jey. Jey got a ton of offense on Braun. A lot of answers to a lot of questions, a lot of, moves that were just countered. And that was my issue, because if you're putting Braun over as this unbreakable, badass, he shouldn't be selling so much. He shouldn't have to be bludgeoned with that much offense from what would on paper look like an inferior opponent. But Jey is not an inferior opponent. Jey is all heart, and that's where it goes. Sometimes wrestling just relies on the heart to tell a good story. And let me tell you, I damn myself for falling asleep last night. I was very tired. I was at the office. I didn't have it in me to stay up. But oh, what a time it would have been to be awake on a Monday night. Because damn it, Paul Levesque, you son of a bitch, you did it again. Jey won the title. And the pop he got, the reaction, the continued response he got after the music was playing. They did it, It was the right move. It was the right move to make Jey Uso the champ. Because if you didn't do it now, I feared when would you do it? And I think Braun is young enough. I think he's new enough. I think he's still an enigma and an anomaly in the fans' eyes, that you can redo him. Yeah, he might take a short-term hit in his stock, but give him a couple months and he'll rebound like a mother. He might rebound going into the Rumble. He might win the Rumble. It might be one of those situations. Or he might be the sole... You know what? I'm actually going to go with he'll be the sole survivor on whatever team he's at, Survivor Series, to kind of get his steam back. Jay, though, well-deserved. Well-deserved. The man's been around for over 16 years in the WWE proper. Him and his brother are the greatest tag team of all time, I'd have to say. I know we're going to get some Road Warriors people. I know we're going to get some Heart Foundation people. I know we're going to get New Age Outlaws people. We're going to get a lot of different names. New Day. We're going to get all the greats. They are the greats. But if you go by what's on paper, they are the record-breaking tag team champions, the longest reigning tag team champions. And they are arguably the cornerstones of the biggest wrestling storyline in the last 20-odd years, along with their family and their cousin. So I say with all that, the Usos, they're the greatest tag team champions. And I don't have a problem with that at all. But Jay needed to move to the next level. Because if you're going to call him main event Jay, well, main events have titles. And so now does Jay. Like Donnie said, I wish... I always like to keep in communication with my buddies and my bros, especially Mr. Wonderful. He's always missed. He's down in Miami right now. He took his talents to South Beach with LeBron, and then LeBron took them away. But anyways, yeah, I hope you're having a good time, Donnie. I am going to make you edit this while you're down there, because this needs to get out there, because the people must hear the news. But yes, it's just, I love being in communication, but I woke up this morning around 5:45, and he says, the first thing I see, when you preview your phone, it says, I love title changes on Monday Night Raw. And I was like, God damn it. That was the first moment when I woke up. I said, shit, I fell asleep. Well, I can watch Raw later. I don't have to check the spoilers, but it was already done. The damage was done. And you know what? It made me actually more excited to go back to it. And I got to say, it didn't disappoint. They did everything well. It felt like one of those big moments. It's going to be on those Raw moments for years to come when they do those recap shows and those like archive type things, or anthology, whatnot. However, I'm very skeptical right now, and this is the pessimist in me, unfortunately. The only thing I can see that would fuck this up is if they hot shot the title back to Braun. I think that would absolutely defeat the purpose. Jay is deserving much more of the moment than just the moment and just a win. I don't want to see this come back on Raw. Find another way, creatively, to reinvigorate Braun. Okay? Creative team, I know you listen. I've seen some of our ideas on your shows. Please do not take the title off Jay immediately. Let him have a good little run. Let the man cook. He deserves it. Other than that, great Raw. I've already changed the format of this recap show. I know it was, the good, the bad, and the mid. I don't care about that anymore. We're just going to go with the nice old-fashioned rating. Without the moment of Jay and the title change, this was sitting at a solid 8-0. With the moment of the title change, this is a 9.2. 9.2 is my rating. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Hope you all did too. Sound off in the comments below. Let me know what your difference of opinion is with me. And let me know why you're wrong. And this has been Joey Business. I'll see you in the next one.